Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful, super practical technique for self-understanding called inquiry. Seriously, it's an amazing method for tuning into your body's own wisdom, and we're going to break it all down step by step. I mean, just think about that for a second. We spend so much of our lives stuck in our heads, right? Trying to analyze everything, trying to figure it all out. But what if the deepest answers aren't actually in your thoughts, but in the physical sensations you're feeling? This one question, well, it's the very heart of the entire inquiry method. So, what is inquiry, really? Look, it's not some complicated psychological theory you need a degree to understand. At its core, it's a physical skill, kind of like learning to listen in a whole new way, but for your inner world. It's all about meeting your feelings with genuine curiosity, with kindness, instead of with judgment or fear. And the best part is that this isn't some vague, mystical thing. Nope, it's a structured 10-step journey that, honestly, anyone can learn. We're going to walk through this entire roadmap together so you can see exactly how it all works. So here's the game plan. First, we'll get into the basic mindset. Then, we'll jump into the core steps of a typical session. After that, we'll explore the advanced steps for when you want to go even deeper. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with how to close out a session and the really big takeaways. All right, let's get into this first section. Here, we're going to see what makes inquiry so radically different from how we usually try to deal with our emotions. Okay, this right here is the fundamental shift. We are all taught to analyze our problems, to think our way out of them. But inquiry asks us to do the complete opposite, to just be with the physical sensation. And when we stop trying to fix it or figure it out and just let it be there, something incredible happens. The mental stories we've built, the resistance we feel, it all starts to just dissolve. And in that quiet space, a much deeper clarity starts to bubble up. All right, let's move on and see how this all comes together in the core of an inquiry session. These first 6 steps are the foundation, and a typical session focusing on just these usually takes about 20 minutes. Totally manageable. So here they are, the heart of the whole process. Let's walk through them. Step 1 is describe the theme. Basically, you just pick anything in your life that has an emotional charge for you, right now. Could be work, a relationship, money, anything. Once you've got your theme, you go to step 2, bodily sensation. This is where you shift your attention away from your thoughts about the problem and into your body. You just ask, where do I feel this? And it's usually this kind of vague, fuzzy feeling somewhere between your throat and your stomach. Okay, so once you've found that sensation, you're on to step 3, find a handle. This is just about finding a word, maybe an image, or even a color that seems to capture the quality of that sensation. Why is that so important? Because it takes something vague and gives it a form, making it easier to connect with. Maybe the word is tight, or heavy, or buzzy. Then, in step 4, you resonate. All that means is you check back and forth. Does this handle still match the feeling? This simple little check-in keeps you grounded in your body and out of your head. This quote just nails the whole idea behind inquiry. That feeling in your body, it isn't just a dead-end symptom of your stress. It's seen as a living intelligence. The idea is that it holds information, and it has a natural direction it wants to go if we just give it the space and the attention to unfold. Steps 3 and 4, that's exactly how you give it that space. And then we get to step 5, asking questions. But here's the twist. You're not asking your mind. You're gently and with real curiosity asking the sensation itself. And this question right here is one of the most powerful ones you can ask. What does this feeling need? Then you just wait. You listen for an answer to bubble up from your body, not from your thinking mind. And it might be something really simple, like space or to be heard. And this is the result. This is step 6, the bodily shift. This is the big payoff, the key sign that something has happened. When that sensation gets what it needs, there's a tangible physical release. You might find yourself taking a deep breath. Your shoulders might drop. You feel a real sense of relief, of new space opening up inside. And this shift almost always comes with a fresh insight about the problem you started with. It's pretty amazing. Now, you could totally stop there and have a fantastic, complete session. But for those who want to go further, the process doesn't end with that initial relief. These next few steps are really designed to move you from personal problem solving towards something much deeper, something described as self-realization. So these 3 advanced steps take that experience of the bodily shift and guide it towards a really profound awareness of your deeper nature. Let's break down how that actually works. Step 7 is all about experiencing essence. Remember that feeling of space or relief you felt in the bodily shift? Well, that is considered an experience of an essential quality. These are described as the fundamental building blocks of our consciousness. Qualities like pure presence or love or stillness, they aren't just emotions. They're seen as core aspects of our true nature that we can all tap into. So this next part, step 8, is a huge leap. It's a radical shift in identity. It's the difference between observing a feeling of peace and actually becoming that peace. In step 7, you're the subject and you're experiencing an object called essence. But in step 8, you're invited to let that whole separation just dissolve. The question becomes, can you experience yourself as this space, as this love? Subject and object become one. And finally, for those who want to go all the way, step 9 poses what's called an absolute question. After you've merged with that experience of love or space, you then ask, what is it that perceives this? This question is designed to point your attention back, way back, to the silent, unchanging awareness that's behind all of your experiences, the good and the bad. This constant aware background is sometimes called knowingness. So, after you've been on this deep inner journey, how do you wrap it up? How do you bring all those insights back with you into your daily life? Well, that's what this final, super simple section is all about. Step 10 is all about integration and gratitude. It's just 2 parts. First, you ask yourself what key insight or feeling you want to remember and carry forward. This really helps to anchor the whole experience. And second, and this is just as important, you take a moment to genuinely thank your body. This helps build a relationship of trust and appreciation for its incredible innate wisdom. And if there's one central insight to pull from this entire process, this is it. Through inquiry, you get to directly experience that while your feelings, your thoughts, and all your sensations are constantly changing, there is a part of you that simply witnesses it all. You're not the storm, you're the sky. So we end right where we started, with a question directed not to your mind, but to you. As you're sitting here, right now, can you just feel into your body for a second? Without any judgment, without analyzing, what sensation is there? What is your body trying to tell you? The journey of inquiry you see is always just one breath away.